You know what keeps me up at night? The fact that over 100,000 accidents happen every year because of manufacturing defects. We're not talking about driver error here. We're talking about cars that are fundamentally broken from the factory. Today, I'm exposing 13 vehicles that are rolling disasters waiting to happen. Car manufacturers have buried these stories, but the truth always comes out. Stay with me, because the final car on this list, it could literally catch fire while you're driving it. Number 13, the 2023 Hyundai Elantra. When this car launched, everyone thought Hyundai had finally cracked the code. It looked sportier, got incredible gas mileage, and seemed ready to take on the Civic and Corolla. But here's what they didn't tell you in the commercials. First, there's a software glitch in the motor control unit. Picture this. You're at a red light, you release the brake, and suddenly the car accelerates on its own. You're not pressing the gas pedal. The car is doing it by itself. This isn't some minor inconvenience. This is a nightmare in stop-and-go traffic. But wait, it gets worse. The oil pump controller can overheat and start a fire. And even if you survive a crash, the airbag emblem might detach during deployment and hit you in the face. The very thing designed to save you becomes a projectile. Hyundai issued recalls, but owners still deal with mysterious sounds, erratic headlights, and warning lights that lie to you. Number 12. Tesla Model Y. 2020 to 2023. I need to be honest with you. Almost any early Tesla could have made this list. Their philosophy of move fast and break things works great in Silicon Valley, but it's terrifying in a 2-ton vehicle moving at highway speeds. The Model Y has paint that chips if you look at it wrong, doors that don't line up, and batteries that degrade faster than your smartphone. But those are minor annoyances compared to what's really happening. Steering wheels that completely detach, power steering that just stops working, and the big one, unintended acceleration. Hundreds of owners reported their Teslas launching forward when they were trying to brake. Tesla blamed every single one of them. Driver error, they said. Until 2021, when a Model Y couldn't stop at an intersection, crashed into a gas station, caught fire, and killed the driver. Tesla quietly settled that lawsuit in 2025. Chinese drivers are so terrified of being blamed that they've installed cameras in their footwells to prove they're not pressing the accelerator. Think about that. They're so scared of their own cars that they need video evidence to prove they're not crazy. Number 11. 2022 Ford Explorer. Ford has had quality issues for decades, but the 2022 Explorer is something special. The rear axle mounting bolt can fracture while you're driving. When that happens, the driveshaft disconnects and your car becomes a runaway shopping cart. Except this shopping cart weighs 4,000 pounds and could roll into a pedestrian. Ford tried to fix it with a software update. That didn't work. So they issued another recall in March 2025 for the same problem. Meanwhile, owners with the Explorer ST are experiencing transmissions that hesitate, jerk, and slam forward when shifting from drive to reverse. One Explorer literally jumped over a curb because reverse decided to malfunction at the worst possible moment. Number 10. 2021 Kia Seltos. There's a dark joke that Kia stands for Killed in Action. The 2021 Seltos makes that joke feel less funny. The dual-clutch transmission shifts roughly, hesitates, and sometimes refuses to shift at all. But that's nothing compared to the engine problem. The 2.0-liter engines in these vehicles had defective piston oil rings that weren't heat-treated properly. Your engine slowly dies from the inside, and one day it just stalls. On a busy highway, in traffic, or worse, it catches fire. Over 400 cars stalled on busy roads, and at least 4 spontaneously combusted. Kia replaced entire engines and installed warning software, but many drivers say the recall didn't actually fix anything. Number 9. Nissan Altima, 2018 to 2019. The Altima used to compete with the Camry and Accord. Used to. Then the 2019 model happened and everything fell apart. The windshield is so weak it cracks under minimal pressure. The automatic emergency braking either fails to deploy or activates randomly for no reason. The rear doors? They won't lock. Or worse, they unlock and open while you're driving down the highway. But the real disaster is the CVT transmission. It shakes, jerks, and stalls while you're moving. Repairs cost up to $5,000 out of pocket because Nissan refused to cover them under warranty. There are now multiple class action lawsuits over headlights, transmissions, and door locks. That's how bad it got. Number 8. 2017 Land Rover Discovery. Imagine spending luxury car money only to get hit with a $20,000 repair bill weeks later because water leaked through the windshield and destroyed all the electronics. That's the Land Rover Discovery experience. It has electrical issues, infotainment systems that freeze, and one driver couldn't turn on their window defroster. Try driving in winter fog with no defroster. The turbocharger can overheat or stall while driving. This is why people joke that you should never buy a Land Rover after the warranty expires. Number 7. 2017 Chevrolet Traverse. This 3-row SUV is more expensive than its competitors, but worse in every measurable way. The power steering is positioned right next to the coolant lines, so they rub against each other and degrade. Eventually, you lose power steering while driving a 5,000-pound vehicle. Imagine trying to merge onto a highway when your steering suddenly stops working. The suspension components also fail prematurely. After just 2 years, critical parts wear out. Why this vehicle still exists is beyond me. Number 6. 2016 Dodge Dart. Here's a statistic that should terrify you. The average 2016 Dodge Dart has had 3 owners and 1 accident. The car was so bad that Fiat discontinued it immediately afterward. The 2.4-liter engine burns oil so fast that you lose 2 quarts in under 1,000 miles. It would stall at highway speeds. The shifter cable bushing could detach randomly, causing cars to roll away even when they were in park. The transmission refused to shift gears. The NHTSA was flooded with complaints and sales collapsed. That was the end of the Dart. Number 5. 2015 Jeep Renegade. The Renegade had off-road capabilities but absolutely nothing else going for it. The transmission shifted into neutral while driving. Software updates didn't fix it. Then owners discovered it had the same oil-burning engine as the Dodge Dart. It would stall suddenly, sometimes in the middle of off-road trails, leaving drivers stranded. Stellantis discontinued it in 2023. Number 4. 2015 Chrysler 200. Another Stellantis disaster with the same terrible engine. It lurched, shifted into neutral while driving, and rolled away when parked. Transmission overhauls cost $3,500 and Chrysler refused to cover them under warranty. Owners filed a class action lawsuit and won. The car was discontinued in 2017. Number 3. 2014 Ford Fiesta. Despite being a bestseller, the 2014 Fiesta was plagued with problems. Water leaks filled the footwells. Coolant leaks damaged the radiator, water pump, and hoses. The rear axle welds would detach. Electronic power steering failed randomly. Doors appeared locked but would open at highway speeds. The transmission experienced rough shifting and hesitation. Owners filed a class action lawsuit because they were tired of paying for repairs while their lives were at risk. Number 2. 2014 Mitsubishi Mirage at $18,000. This car was suspiciously cheap. How did Mitsubishi do it? By removing important safety features. The car is so light that in a collision with a larger vehicle, passengers are in serious danger. Crash test results were horrifying. The dummy's head barely touched the airbag before sliding off. The weak engine means drivers can't accelerate out of dangerous situations. Mitsubishi discontinued it in 2024. Number 1. 2013 Kia Rio. Here's something shocking. You can buy a 2013 Rio for almost the same price as a 2023 model. That tells you everything. The 2013 model received a marginal safety rating in frontal crash test. At just 40 miles per hour, you're looking at serious head injuries. But here's the killer. Millions of Kias and Hyundais from 2010 to 2017 had Theta 2 engines that spontaneously caught fire. Owners split a $760 million settlement. The Rio was initially excluded, but Kia eventually admitted these cars were fire hazards too. The recall didn't make major news, so many owners never got their cars fixed. If you buy a 2013 Rio today, you might be driving around in a vehicle that could burst into flames. These 13 cars have caused misery, financial ruin, and in some cases, actual loss of life. Not every single one will have problems, but the question is, do you really want to take that risk?